Alright, you know where we are today. We are about to head to Brad's Man Land.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to Throwback, where we talk all things cool and retro.
Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, what's up?
No, we're not doing that today. Come on, we got the toy tour thing.
Oh, that's today?
Yeah, man, come on.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, now that we got that settled, we'll start off with my toy tour room. Gonna focus more on like the stuff that's new this year. So I got this whole pegboard, and it's kind of just straight 90s goodness. Up top, got some Fox Kids, Power Rangers, VR Troopers, Master Rider, that kind of stuff. Some bigger box sets up top that don't really have a spot for, and the box art is really cool, so gotta go with that. Then moving on to the wall of carded, so we got Star Wars, we got Star Wars Vintage Collection, we got a couple little intricacies going on there, some of the more rare guys in the middle, things like that. And then halfway through, we end up moving on to wrestling. Some of my older wrestling stuff, WCW stuff up top. Kind of got into that this year, really focusing a lot on this kind of was it San Francisco Toy Maker, Toy Biz type stuff. So grab some of those. Did start collecting the big rubber guys. You've seen that on the channel. Don't really do elites as far as in package anymore. Just not enough money to go around. And definitely don't do AEW too much anymore. But sometimes when there's a cool figure or a rare figure, I'll snag it for posterity's sake. R.I.P. Bray Wyatt. And kind of Paige from what she was. Then I started a whole nother shelf over here. We got some Trek action going on. But up top before that, we got Lord of the Rings. I finally went down that rabbit hole. It's a bad thing, but there it is. Sorry, the light on that's not the best, but Trek lighting's great. Look at there. So yeah. Starting my kind of loose Trek collection, and then some other goodies here. Super 7 Picard is highly underrated. I think they did a killer job on his face, considering Super 7's not always the absolute best on that. Before we move on to my loose wrestlers, I'm going to backtrack just a little bit and get our guys over here. This whole section's new. Shout out to the parentals for that. So VHS on the bottom, and then kind of did DC movies. Obviously the main focus being on Batman. Got the Razor Crest, the N1 whatever fighter from the Mando, and then we got some Blurg action there. Vintage figures over there. I think there's a old Toys R Us sticker in there actually hanging out, but some fun stuff there. VHS on the other side, but that you don't need to worry about that too awful much. It is what it is. VHS, retro, all that kind of stuff. And then we have kind of my physical media section. Continued. This is more the kids / my early stuff, and then some old VHSs that I really like. Some TV shows that I like. The whole Next Gen collection. So it's everything Next Gen related, all the way through Picard. So super happy to have that box set. Very fun there. Then some stuff up top, a speeder, things like that. That last year was on the floor hogging up space, and now it's up like 7 feet in the air. So there you go.
That works.
Flubber, retro guys, Ernest, can't get wrong with that. And then Biker Scout watching over us as a Biker Scout should, with his Hall of Fame 2020 Hulk Hogan belt going on there. So pretty cool, pretty fun. I do enjoy that. Then inside the TARDIS, we do have some pretty rare, some are rarer than others, but DVDs, specifically like Beetleborgs, VR Troopers, those things are not cheap, as well as Ren and Stimpy, but these Pete and Pete's are also some pretty rare boys right there. Some
real monsters. Some
expensive stuff. And we will hop on over to my loose wrestlers. It's not the greatest collection, but yeah, over there it's just pretty much more movies, so not too much to write home about. Over here, we start off up top. Kind of hard to see video-wise, but kind of my AEW guys, followed by kind of my WCW early LJN style figures. I think they're not Gloobs, but San Francisco Toy Makers? You can never keep track. Yeah, San Francisco Toy Makers. And then on to my other those are the Toy Biz WCWs, and then we have kind of like my territory shelf that I started this year. Some Power Town, any day now Power Town. You've only had my pre-order for like a year. It's a whole other story. Big Rubber Guys. I'm doing big rubber guy things. Check out the channel for those reviews. Really have enjoyed that line, especially since I'm able to focus solely on kind of territory versions. And then of course the old BCAs, a fun, relatively cheap line to collect. If you're needing just to buy a figure, you can usually find one for a good $5. So not too shabby there. And then we'll move on to the glass cases and go from there. Alright, and starting off in the cases, right above there, kind of have my Major Pod shelf there, my little ode to them, so pretty fun. And then some more WCW action going on up top of the ring, and a side belt, so pretty fun there. And then we'll just kind of plow through these case guys here, because the glass makes it kind of hard to see, but just lots and lots of WWE Mattel guys, WCW line, old school WWE, Attitude Era, and so on. Kind of the women focus shelf there, pretty cool. Just a lot of fun guys. I try to keep this looking good the best I can. But it's not always perfect, but we do what we can. All right, we're going to move on to the wars now. Time to get to the wars. Up top we have some Celebration, some San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, and some vintage figures going on there, so pretty fun. And then top row of the glass cases are Hot Toys and lightsabers. So, you know, there you go with those. They are what they are, pretty expensive. And then we basically just go episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, yada yada yada, all the way down. And I definitely left plenty of room in my Star Wars cases for growth. So hopefully the line continues, because I don't know what I'm gonna do with these other like 3 empty shelves of detolves, but I think we'll be holding on for a while.
Or your Playmobil will go.
Yeah, Playmobil, Star Wars, or we'll find out something. Or maybe I'll just have to start buying Hot Toys again.
You got that massive second wave of the Acolyte coming, don't worry.
Yeah, but that'll be right around the corner. Up top, some fun little Black Series and statues, things like that they came out with. That TIE Fighter's crazy to think that we got that back then.
That's so big.
And then
I can get in it.
Behind Uncle BJ, we have kind of the arcade setup, which is definitely different this year. But
Ooh, I like
it's just
that.
at a different spot this year.
That's cool.
Power of the Force guys, kind of my childhood figs that slowly trying to collect again. But yeah, arcades for family fun and all that stuff. Turtles, Simpsons, Blitz. We've got Pinball Arcade. We got Pac-Man.
Heavy.
And we got Terminator. So, and then in between we have space for figures, because that's just kind of what you have to do. Even with the building this size, you still got to try to maximize your space for sure. All right, now we are going to hit the Rangers, one of the colorful sections of the tour, and maybe one of the probably my favorite section. I'll be honest. I think the Power Rangers are definitely my favorite section. So starting up top, we got a lot of boxed OG stuff. Some of them with the Zords inside. The Megazord is inside that one. One of my big goals this year was to complete every version of the Megazords for the Zordon era. So I was able to do that, I think, especially through at least Ninja. But we move on down. We kind of have our Lightning collections. Then we move on to our Super 7s, which if you guys are Ranger fans and haven't dug into the Super 7s, you can get them for a pretty good deal right now. And they're really good figures, especially for display purposes. Then we move over to my Zeo Turbo slash, kind of left it be, but then we have the Thunder Zords. Like I said, I kind of have all the versions. So I got the Thunder Zord, got the Mega Thunder Zord, got the White Tiger, Battle Mode and Attack Mode, Tank Mode for the, all of these different modes. So basically buying the same thing multiple times in order to get all the different versions, but this is something I really wanted to have this go around. And Ninja Zord, Ninja Falcon Zord, Ninjor, and Battle Mode. So again, just happened to purchase those. in all the different ways, and then some loosey-gooseys here to even kind of go a little bit beyond that, having the Shogun Megazords in that version. Just something I wanted to do there.
Cool.
Yeah. Moving up top, nice and high. You can always zoom in if you want. The zoom in's right here.
Yeah.
So if you need to zoom, you can zoom. Up top, we've got the Turbo and In Space. I was out of Rangers by In Space, but technically it follows the rules of the Zordon era. So I did get the In Space Megazord, and then below that we have the Zeo. With all the Zeo goodness, I love Zeo. Highly underrated season in my opinion, but what do I know? Power Rangers movie, also highly underrated. The 2017 version.
That's right.
And then, of course, the Command Center. Some Funkos, some just silly stuff like that. Just a little display that I made here with the Aquatarian Rangers. And again, Power Rangers in Space, which was out of my time, but I felt it needed to be represented, so there we go. And then just some odds and ends. Rangers and different Zords and just fun stuff there. And then the Micro Machine belts. Belt buckles, creepy crawlers, just a whole lot of 90s goodness going on there.
What's that in that packaging there? The plastic?
Which one down here? Oh, just good old Pogs. It's my childhood Pog collection there. Some Poisons and stuff like that. Stuff from the book club, things like that. That I need to get a binder for those specifically. I have a binder for the Power Ranger ones, but those specifically just haven't had a place quite yet. And then we'll go up top, finish up the Power Rangers with the movie stuff, McDonald's toys, things like that. Come on down. Some of the more odds and ends shelf that just needs to be filled in a little bit more. Then we got a bad guy shelf with Funkos, boxed alien guys, and all that fun stuff. And then one of my favorite little setups is just a nice little battle scene with all the bad guys from Lightning Collection and things like that. Got a custom Ivan Ooze egg there. And then kind of my shelf here of stuff that is left spaces open for my Red Ranger that fell and broke his coccyx.
You're just doing karate, bro.
So he had a bad day.
Should have had a smoothie.
At Ernie's. So a few spots left open to fill in. Movie Rangers, I gotta get the Black Ranger, things like that. But a really colorful and a shelf that I think pops really nicely. Then down to the Carrier Zords, Titanus, some Funkos, some weapons. You got Saba back there, you got his blaster, you got the gold Zeo staff, Tor, Shuttle Zord, a little Green Ranger love there, and then some of the OG bikes and things like that.
Rangers of Anarchy.
Time Force Rangers, which again is way outside of the timeline that I should be collecting, but a season that I randomly came across and really enjoyed. This is kind of my random Ranger-esque time frame. We got Draken, Green Ranger, so just some fun stuff. This Ranger right here from Valorverse was definitely one of my top figures of the year, even though I forgot about him and didn't put him in that list.
Oh,
And then just some other kind of odds and ends goodies from Power Rangers. Some little ring thing, party popper type stuff. Just some silly knick-knacky stuff. A DZ Discovery Zone wristband, which for you 90s kids, that'll really be a take back. But yeah, so that's kind of the Power Rangers in a nutshell. And next we're going to move on to some more Star Wars helmets and other goodness. Alright, and here's kind of the gaming / just fun wall. Here, Clone Wars helmets. Some of them are a little wonky. I need to adjust them a little bit, but you get the idea. I got some Clone Wars, the evolution of the Troopers, and some other Black Series style helmets. Do have some other goodness that needs to be filled in. So we got some Back to the Future, some football stuff down below, and then some rare Power Rangers Carter figures there. Then we got me and the Hulkster and Cara Dune. I'll tell you something, brother. And then we have a lot of game systems. So we got the Xbox One, we got the Sega, we got the Xbox 360, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, all that good stuff right there. Yeah, I'm going to say zoom out a little bit there. VHS player, Nintendo games, all that kind of stuff. Some seasons of TV shows that I really like.
wow.
A lot of 90s goodness, obviously. He-Man, Joe, Saved by the Bell, that kind of stuff going on there. And now we got some Super Nintendo, N64. Not a big gamer guy, just kind of collect stuff that I remember having as a kid, or remember wanting as a kid, I guess we'll go with as well. Some more helmets up top. And then, unfortunately, I went and started collecting some animated Marvel Legends, so that's kind of a problem, but here we are. So got those up top. Very dabbling. We'll very dabble in that. And then MCU figures below that. Not much added since last year. Maybe Deadpool, Wolverine, things like that added to that. But overall, not a whole lot added to that shelf this past year. But all the same, pretty full and looks pretty good. Hopefully MCU can land on their feet in 2025. And then we move on to kind of my 90s kid display area, which I hope next year to add an extra one beside it and really fill it up with just straight 90s goodness. Some Rare Boys up top, the Power Rangers, some fun little magazine stuff, Nickelodeon, Fox Kids, things like that. And then end of the shelf, some Beetleborgs, VR Troopers, Nickelodeon magazine, some Trolls, things like that. A lot of stuff that knick-knacky stuff that I was able to keep from a kid from this Back to the Future car from Universal, which is crazy that I kept, and then including this Joker van that somehow survived my entire childhood. So pretty impressed with that, actually. And then moving on down, again, it's just some more loosey-goosey stuff, some knick-knacky 90s just style stuff, fun things, Goonies, things like that. Gemstone Warriors, I think is what they were called, kind of troll-like. And then down below, we get just some more fun 90s stuff like this eraser that they had back in the day. Can't remember what they were called, but they were fun. Things like that. These little dog toys and things. No, it looks like it, but it wasn't. And then we kind of hopped down to my high school years here, just some high school memorabilia, kind of what my old license plate tag and one of my football gloves, and obviously we were watching American Pie and things like that, and listening to AC/DC and old car keys, things like that. So fun little Blockbuster goodness there. So just a fun little cabinet that I really want to expand on in this next year, and hopefully in 2025's Toy Tour review it will be up and nice and full. I'm not going to go too deep into the autograph wall. It hasn't changed too awful much, but just some fun things there that you can have a look at and see who I've met, see who I've gotten pictures with, things like that. Anything from all the Power Rangers to the cast of Boy Meets World, just fun stuff all around there. And then we're going to move on to Turtles. Alright, and then carrying on to the Turtles / other stuff. Up top we got some Doug and Little Nemo animation cell art. Very fun things that I really enjoy. Right below that obviously is my Jurassic Park shelf. Just a nice little shelf for my love of Jurassic Park. Good movies there. And then down to the Super 7 Ninja Turtle shelf. A fun line, man. I love this line. Wish I could go a little harder on it, but they are not a cheap figure line to collect at all. Kind of like, as we move down, the vintage Ninja Turtles. So, don't have a ton of vintage. I know it kind of might look like there's a pretty decent amount, but considering what's out there, there's definitely not a lot. And then I went ahead and made a little movie section here. So you've got kind of the Michael Bay one, the most recent one, and then of course the OG Ninja Turtles, and then some extra fun stuff down here. Autographs, things like that. Pizza Shooter, and the like. And then we got the NECA city scene here that I kind of added to. So we've got like an extra grill thing that I added, just some stuff to kind of really fill out the world here. But these things are really fun. Ads there, lots of Foot Clan members. Uncle BJ helped me out with a few of those guys last year. And then of course my little alleyway that I had to create here to make it make sense for some of these other guys. So we got Kino, we got the Professor, April. And then, was it Laird or whatever his name is from the comics, Eastman and Laird, yeah. And then this little doo-doo head right here, hanging out in the shadows, lurking, stealing $20 out of April's wallet, just being a little punk.
That was a lot of money back in the day.
Just being a son of a gun. And then more NECA goodness over here. My little kind of up top, not really anything left. I've kind of cleared out space, made room for hopefully more additions in the future. But we do have staircase, just some fun little Stranger Things, and just a mixture of a little bit of everything on the staircase just for fun. We got Ninja Turtles 3 from NECA, my favorite movie. Don't hate me for that, but we got that down below. Pretty fun little quick easy display that I made for those guys.
Cool made up for this.
Just a simple, grass and some aquatics parts, and then we got my take on what maybe a semi-modern turtle lair would be. I tried to, in my brain, I wanted to originally do the turtle lair from the second movie and the third movie, but it was a little too intricate for me, so I just went with this idea, and I think it turns out pretty good. Bunk beds and Donnie doing disposed stuff over there, eating his burger, sipping on his drink, having a good old time. So just a fun little setup, I think really adds to the turtle goodness there. And now it's time for the wars. It's time for some Star Wars. We start. I'm not going to go into all of these, just a lot of vehicles. We'll run down it pretty quick. Lots of vehicles, lots of monsters, lots of ships, yada yada yada, all the way down. Pretty simple there. Kind of the sequel trilogy. My little. Okay, you guys did some good things.
You tried.
Representation there. TFA, and I do not mind Rise of Skywalker represented here, but other than that, yeah. And then kind of like what I would have had VHS-wise as a kid. Some of these I did have, and other things that just would fit in there, and that's my old... my grandma's old VHS holder right there, so I definitely kept that. And that's kind of my little ode to her.
Very cool.
And then we get some big boys up here. Some fun little stuff. Waiting to get a walker. I need to get a walker eventually. That's on the list of things to do, so that's a little spot open there for that. And then we come down, we got Slave 1. And of course the big bad barge, which, for very first HasLab. And obviously is a rare boy to this day, along with the yak-based car. Things like that.
Not rare. You can get one for $7,000.
Yeah, I mean, if you got it, flaunt it, So hey, here we are. Then we got my Lucy's. Have not been into the 3 3/4, especially new guys, near as much. Just the price is really killing me there, but
they suck, a lot of them.
But we've got 40 years of Star Wars figures out there, so there are plenty of loose 3 3/4 figures that you can get, and these are just a few of those. Looking forward to my Ghost. As the time we film this, it's not quite out yet, but we do have a spot for it. There's kind of my Rebels crew waiting for the Ghost to get here, which will go right there in the little empty spot. And then we have a little biker scout.
He's gonna need more room. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. And then we have my Obi-Wan Focus here. Obi-Wan is my favorite character, so we got a lot of 3 3/4 Obies. Then we got the Vintage Collection Falcon, big boy. No collection is complete without a Vintage Collection Falcon, in my opinion. And then behind us here, we'll just take a quick look at just kind of our center area. Here we got a little bit of change. Move the skee ball. Put the Dragon Ball Z stuff, and just some other knick-knacky X-Files office. Just fun little stuff there to kind of switch it up a little bit. And before, all I had was the back of the game, so that didn't really look good to me. I was able to move my DVDs over there. So they're behind that old Toys R Us banner that me and Uncle BJ Dumpster died for.
Oh yeah, I was trying to remember where I know that from.
Years and years ago. So very fun little area there. I do appreciate that area a lot. Just for the physical media and everything else behind it. And little knick-knacky wrestlings and VHS's, horror movies. Got my little Christmas section of VHS and other physical media. So just a fun little area there. And then we're gonna wrap it up here with the rest of the Star Wars.
Show a little behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, that's where we get all 63 of our views. Is right here at the table, at least on my videos. I can't speak for BJ's. So it's 64 views that he gets on his.
There's our magical podcast originator, where all 7 of you enjoy us talking
talking figures
nonsense.
and fun, silly nonsense. Yeah, up top we got just a little bit of mishmash of everything. We got the old troop transport. We got the sand crawler, which is terribly underscaled, but it's fun all the same.
Oh yeah, it's the biggest one you get.
And then the old school Falcon, and then kind of just my fun little fridge here with places I've been, 90s goodness stuff there. I got some autographs, Dave Prowse, and then the guy Ron Wasserman, who does all the Power Rangers and X-Men. So you hear that on X-Men, that's this guy. So he was super cool, gave me that autograph for free. But he did VR Trooper, SpongeBob, tons and tons of stuff like that. And then we move over to Stranger Things, probably my favorite little subline to collect right now. Just really enjoy the show. Some fun stuff there. So just some little odds and ends, a few Funkos here, an actual piece of Hawkins High School there. Snagged that on my last little trip there. Went by the high school before they tore it down, and grabbed a little bit of memories there, including the Eggo box from the actual store, so that was pretty fun there. And then we have my odds and ends shelf, which is literally odds and ends. We've got everything from Highlander to Twilight to Hunger Games, Biker Mice from Mars, you name it. It's just kind of a random hodgepodge of stuff. Below it, it's pretty much the same. From Mario Street Sharks to Roddy Piper and They Live to Steve Irwin. I mean, it's just a little bit of everything there, with plenty of room to grow. Then we have our Micro Machine section. I still need to unbox my Yoda and put it out there. But Micro Machines all the way down to the bottom, episode 1. I think that's where they really ended the Micro Machines. I know they did some for TFA and things like that, but as far as really focusing on the line, that's where it ended. And then over here we've got my Arnold, we got my Harry Potter, we got my Ghostbusters, and we have my autographed poster.
How many people did you get to sign that?
I mean, a lot of people that aren't alive anymore. We've got Carrie Fisher, we got Peter Mayhew, who both have passed, obviously. Kenny Baker, R2, has passed, and then Mark Hamill, whose brain has passed. But then we also have Ian McDermott, played the Emperor, and Anthony Daniels, C-3PO. So some heavy hitters on there for sure. Still plenty that I need to get. Really need to get Lando and all that, but I don't know. It may just be complete with the way it is. But yep, Harry Potter, all that stuff. Some extra books and some nonsense down below. But all in all, I mean that's the Manland.
Wait a minute. I'm noticing something.
What are we noticing?
Hold on, this guy. Isn't he?
He's kind of. He looks like he might be.
Wow. No, couldn't be.
Well, he's definitely upped his game. You know, he made his dreams come true at the end of the day.
He did.
A child of the 80s
Get in there.
lived to become a Ghostbuster in the 2020s. Not too shabby.
Very cool.
Very cool. But yeah, I was saying that's about it. It kind of is what it is. It's plenty of space, but at the same time, there's never enough room, and we're always trying to create more room and make it more appealing to the eyes. Because at the end of the day, it is meant to be a fun space. Not just for me, but for the kids and family and things like that. But we appreciate you guys hanging out all this year. It's been fun. I hope you guys had a good Christmas. And I think we're going to go ahead and throw them back, and maybe we'll go do a toy hunt.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We're definitely a throwing back.
So for myself and Uncle BJ, we'll see you all next time.
See ya.